Are you thinking about moving to Ohio but curious if it's as affordable as what people really say it is? Well, in this video, I aim to give you the actual data involved to understand the cost of living here in Ohio. From housing prices, transportation, grocery bills, and even tax bills, I want you to get a full scope of the cost of living in Ohio so that way you can make a decision if it makes sense to move here or not. My name's David Sadusky. I'm a real estate agent and I've helped hundreds of people move here. And if you guys are looking to do the same, I would love the opportunity of a one-on-one conversation with you to see which city in Ohio is best and if it even makes sense for you to move to Ohio at all. But without further ado, let's hop right into the cost of living involved in Ohio. Now let's start with one of the biggest factors to cost of living, and that is housing prices. Now this is great news for Ohio because the average home price in Ohio is around $220,000. And if you look at the national average home price, that's around $420,000. So this means for basically the same house, you can get it for half the price if you look at it in Ohio. This is great news for affordability, obviously, but what does that actually mean the numbers wise? What is the actual money output out of pocket? Well, if we take a look at the actual numbers, let's say you bought the average house, the average 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,400 square foot house in Ohio at $220,000. Now let's assume a 6.7% interest rate. That's right around where interest rates are right now. And let's also assume you're putting 20% down in both of these scenarios. Now the taxes on that $220,000 house will be roughly $2,750 a year. So $2,750 a year goes to property taxes, and the insurance, let's assume $1,500. Your total monthly payment, it's called PITI, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. Your total monthly payment would be around $1,490 a month, $1,490 a month. Now let's look at that same house, but just the national average home price. So at $420,000, we'll assume you're putting 20% down again. Again, your down payment would nearly double, so that's a lot more money coming out of your pocket. And let's assume the same interest rate, 6.7%. Taxes would be higher since the property value is higher. So let's assume taxes are $5,040 a month, and the insurance is the same in both scenarios at $1,500 a month. Your monthly payment in that scenario would be $2,713 a month, $2,713 a month. That is a price difference monthly of $1,223 a month, $1,223 a month in savings by buying the same house, but in Ohio. This is where housing prices, I think I talk about it a lot in this channel, but this is how big of a difference it can make on your life and financially when you look at a much more affordable area like Ohio. Now, that's just the average home price in Ohio. Obviously, you guys are looking for more specific areas within Ohio. So we look at the average home price in, let's say, Columbus, one of the most growing cities in the entire state right now is Columbus. The average home price there is around $280,000. In Cleveland, it's around $180,000 average home price. In Cincinnati, their average home price is around $250,000. And in Dayton, Ohio, their average home price is around $190,000. So basically, we are vastly under the national average home price, and this equates to massive savings in your pocket if you're a resident here. And it doesn't even stop there, but that's one of the biggest factors to affordability and just how much savings you'll be expecting if you did decide to make the move here. Now let's piggyback off of the housing costs and talk about utilities and bills. So the utility cost, the average utility cost in Ohio is around $150 to $250 a month. This includes water, gas, electricity. The average utility bill in America is around $250 to $275. So you're looking at another, $100, $75 in savings just on the utility bill, which I know doesn't sound like a lot, but as we just talked about, you're already saving roughly on the average house $1,223 a month. Add another $7,500. This really starts to add up month over month, year after year, and you can get a lot more bang for your buck. Now, property taxes, they're roughly around 1.57% of the appraised value of your home, or I should say the purchase price of your home, or I guess, the tax appraised value of your home. It's right around 1.57%. But please keep in mind, this changes or not changes, but this will change drastically depending on which county and city you're looking at. For instance, if you look more up north in the Cleveland, Ohio area, Lake County has vastly lower taxes than Cuyahoga County. So you really want to make sure you reach out to a real estate professional and expert like myself who can direct you which county is going to have higher taxes versus another county right next door that would have significantly lower taxes. Now let's talk about transportation in Ohio. The average gas cost for gas per gallon is around $3 per gallon for gas. Now, this is a little bit below the average, and obviously if you're coming from California, this sounds like a dream, or if you're coming from New York, again, it sounds like a dream to pay $3 per gallon for gas. It really depends on which state you're planning on coming from or where you're currently living. But again, it's right around $3 per gallon. Again, if you're driving a car every day, this again adds up quite a bit. Now, I should mention our public transportation, even in our major cities like Columbus, Cleveland, it's not nearly as good as what it would be in like Chicago, New York. So you would likely have to rely on a car, on a vehicle. If this is not something you're used to, this is definitely something to keep in mind. You definitely want to have a vehicle if you're looking to move here, even if you're going close to a major city. So again, that's maybe a downside on the cost of living, but I just want to give you guys the real advice and what it actually is like of a person living in Ohio, what they need and what they should expect to pay. Now let's quickly talk about groceries in Ohio. We are on average 10% cheaper than the national average grocery bill. This is again another little thing, and 10% is a major thing. If you could save 10% a year in groceries, this adds up a ton over time. So on average, our milk cost is like $3.50. Our eggs are around $3 a carton. Bread, a loaf of bread is around $2.50. So compare this to the next time you go to the grocery store, how much you're paying for milk, eggs, bread. We're on average around 10% cheaper. And this goes to everything, right? From fast food, we're roughly 10% cheaper. It's around $7 a meal for fast food. Fine dining, again, 10% cheaper. So, and this is on average. So if you're living in, let's say Nevada, it's going to be roughly 10% cheaper, if not more. Whereas if you're living in like Indiana, right next door to us, it's going to be roughly the same price. So just keep that in mind. But again, if you're coming from a higher cost of living state and you want to move to a more affordable state, Ohio is a great option. All these things add up quite a bit. So overall, is Ohio actually as affordable as what they say it is? Absolutely. I mean, I just gave 3 to 5 examples of how we are consistently more affordable. The only thing to keep an eye out on is if you are relying on public transportation, you might want to find a specific city that can meet your needs for this, because you would likely have to rely on a car. But other than that, Ohio is vastly cheaper than the average cost of anything in America. So absolutely, it's more affordable. The cost of living here is amazing. I am an Ohio resident most of my life, and the cost of living here is absolutely outstanding and has allowed me to save a lot more money and buy investments, buy more rentals, buy properties, and just grow and save even at a young age from where I'm at right now. So if this is something you guys are interested in, again, I would love the opportunity of a one-on-one conversation with you. I want to help you guys out. I've helped a lot of people do so. And if this video provided you any amount of value, please comment below. Just let me know, and I would love the opportunity to help you out again. Thank you guys for watching.